So this time I'm about to show how the animation cycles works because there are some questions about it. So let's start one of our character. Let's choose this one. Our guy is active now. We can play him with pad number 0. So let's run somewhere where we can have some view and some terrain to show anything. Okay. Current FPS is very high just because I made a build on normal compiler, so we are not at the virtual machine. Okay, here we go with the camera. Where is our guy? There he is. So we have our guy. He is not active now. Let's activate the guy. We don't need it anymore. So object editor will show us what it is performing this guy. So overlay out, he's selected, so he's glowing. So he's glowing, and we have mind part selected. We can switch it. Maybe it's gonna help us. Yeah. This is kind of a reference. So if I'm about to build a cut or something, animation, it can be used as reference, but we don't need it for now. So we have anim cycles. He's currently in group 1, and there are cycles we have here on the list. We can switch cycle to any other, like second cycle. Let's make it quiet. Yes. So the second have jogging and some other things. Mostly jogging, as I remember, and jumping. And the third one have, for now, nothing. Noon cycle. Noon cycle is a safety switch, just in case. So if we are in noon cycle, we can animate our character and make him fall. So my part is selected. We go on the page 5, and we can move him up or whatever direction. And if we want to play him again, we can use firing cycle. So he is again active. Yeah, I can control him with the pad. Another part that can be interesting is camera. Let's make camera visible. Where is the camera? Parts. So there is a camera. So if I move the guy, camera is following, and if I move right stick, right joy, so I can turn camera around faster or put it down or up. Obviously, view from the camera is just following by lerping to the camera, faster or slower. So it is not exact point where camera is now. It is target point. It is why the camera can move very fast and the view is not jumpy or jiggy or something like that. But we are not about to animate anything with camera. Okay, so we have our guy, and the selected object should be, for example, mind part, which is invisible now. It allows us to move guy up and down. Let's freeze him again to move him up in the sky. Where it is? Too many switches. I must build a specific tools. Okay, non-cycle. So he freeze. And now we go to the page 5. Move him up. So guy is up. Now we can enforce pose. Here is lerping time, so to basic pose. or we can just enforce some pose. For example, this is hard landing pose. So let's say we make a pose, like starting with basic pose, like let's say whatever. We have selected the hand, we can pitch it, make it quiet. So we are moving hand up. Obviously I can do something much more useful here about rotating and tilting the objects. But for now it is numerical. So let's tilt it a bit. So we are making some pose. Let's say whatever. We also can move stuff he has around, or move some jumping up, down. We can move it partially. So you can do whatever. Pause and then copy sequence to clipboard. I'm gonna copy this sequence in the format I'm about to show as pose. So let's go to that. So the pose we have just copied is in this format. Obviously it is not very useful for now. So it is not very useful here, but let's say we go to the animation cycles. Let's say number 3, and let's copy this to our pose. So in this format it's clearly visible that our new pose, we can call it for whatever pose. Consists some mind path, transformation, and every other part that is animated one after another. I also have a button side of this copy button, which is returning a mirror pose, and if we save it and restart again, this pose will be available. So it can be used in the cycles, like we have tool cycle here, but here we have some more interesting, some data. So for example, jumping, utilize a pose, time for the pose, what should be rotated, what detectors should return collision if they are asked, because every collider must be asked to return collision. I can use any collider for any type of collision at any time. However, calling all of them just to check something is wasting of calculation. So we can build some cycle based on those animation we have here, and there is a lot of data. It is why it is split for different structs, so it can hold it. So the whole animation process is to make a pose, copy, paste, copy, mirror pose, paste, and so on. It's quite fast, because from one pose of running to a second pose, like passing and contact and so on, it's quite fast process using this tool. So the cycle is executed. We can go back to the game itself. But before we do this, I need to explain one thing about those poses. So part naming, we have here here what we have in the pose is reference. So this part is connected obviously to main path because it is main path. As pivot is connected to main path, obviously, and then as spine 01 is connected to as, and spine 02 is connected to spine 01, so here, and so on with every part. So what you have in copy of the pose, it is reference, where this part is connected and what is the shift of origin and rotation and so on. Those first three numbers, which are mostly 0, are rotation of the origin before move. Here is the movement, and here is the past rotation after the movement. So as we see, in most cases this is 0, and I don't even use it for anything reasonable. However, at the beginning I was thinking to make a case where it can have a use in some very specific thing, like if you're moving up the visor on the helmet and you want it to stay, because where we have head, jaw, helmet, okay, let's go back. Let's say we have a visor on the helmet, where it is. So let's say we have a visor on the helmet and we want to move it up and let it stay that way. On the beginning I was using some manipulation here, and because mode cycles utilize rotations only on the second and third part of this array, it is kind of use case, but later on I just stopped using it because I'm working on the collision system for now, so yeah, that has not much use. Okay, let's go to the gameplay.